They say the officer injured in Sunday morning shooting is still fighting for his life, though he has showed some improvement over the last 24 hours.
Kyle Newman was shot in the neck during a DWI stop near the McClure Amphitheater. Since then, support has been pouring in from across the region. We went to Newman's hometown of Lavaca to hear about the impact he's made on the community. Newman's second cousin, David, told us the family has deep roots in the town. And while David says he doesn't know Kyle personally, he says that news quickly spread throughout his family.
I couldn't believe it. I didn't know him, but and when I initially saw it, I wasn't sure that he was one of the. But found out pretty quick that he would. I guess that would be a second cousin. Well, we've all been praying for him right along, and with just a lot of family.
Lavaca High School's principal told us Officer Newman was an engaged student, deeply involved in athletics, and the community is hoping he recovers quickly. We're also learning more about the history of the man who investigators say shot Officer Newman, 27-year-old Joshua Keller.
Yeah, Keller was shot and killed after leading police on a chase that ended there near Grand and I-540. We've learned that Keller had at least one prior arrest to Sunday's shooting. He pleaded guilty to third-degree domestic battery in Van Buren back in December. He was also sentenced to 12 months suspended and was ordered to complete a domestic violence intervention program. Now, as the investigation into the shooting continues, we'll be keeping up with Officer Newman's condition. We'll have any updates from police right here on air. Any special press conferences will be streamed over on 5 News Plus and on our website, 5newsonline.com.
Two people facing over 270 charges combined in an Arkansas child abuse case have taken a plea deal. In Mountain Home, Daniel Wright and Jacqueline Barnett were arrested in 2024 and charged with counts including false imprisonment and child endangerment. The couple was accused of abusing a 15-year-old boy. Last year, Wright and Barnett were arrested again and faced new charges. This week, the couple pleaded guilty to various counts, but over 100 charges were dropped for each defendant. They'll now each face 20 years in prison.
In San Diego, California, an investigation is underway after a shooting at an Islamic center left 3 dead. Authorities say 2 gunmen are both believed to be teenagers. Police say they found the suspected shooters dead inside of a car. Authorities also say that the mother of one of the suspected shooters contacted them 2 hours prior to the shooting, concerned.
She believed her son was suicidal, and she began to share information that several of her weapons were missing. Her vehicle was missing, in addition to her son.
One victim was identified by authorities as a security guard for the Islamic Center. As the war with Iran stretches on, President Trump now says he's holding off on any further planned attacks.
He also says negotiations are moving forward. Bradley Blackburn is tracking the latest.
President Trump says a major strike against Iran is now on pause.
2 or 3 days, a short period of time, because they think that they are getting very close to making a deal.
The president has been threatening a return to violence as the war goes unresolved. One key sticking point in past negotiations, Iran's nuclear capability and ambition.
We're not going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon. There seems to be a very good chance that they can work something out. If we can do that without bombing the hell out of them, I'd be very happy.
Iran says it's focused on reaching an agreement, but claims it hasn't discussed the nuclear issue. Meanwhile, the standoff in the Strait of Hormuz is hurting both sides.
The Iranians are blockading the strait and preventing oil from getting out. That's hurting the world economy and the U.S. economy. U.S. is blockading from the outside, hurting the Iranian economy.
A CBS News poll shows more than 3/4 of Americans feel concerned about the economy. About 2/3 think President Trump's policies are making things worse in the short term. That's a political warning sign for the president and Republicans heading into the midterms.
This is a time in which you really want this conflict to be resolved, to move this behind, so that the economy can then start to recover. The stakes are high, and the Iranians really have this clock that they want to play out.
More Americans also say gas prices have become a hardship since the start of the war. The national average is now more than $4.50 a gallon. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
President Trump held a tele-rally for some Republican candidates in Kentucky Monday and promised supporters that as soon as the war with Iran is resolved, gas prices will, quote, come tumbling down.
Well, here at home, Portsmouth City directors could set in motion a change in how the city is ran. The board is to consider two options. The first, a special election for November. Voters could decide whether to change the form of government from a city administrator form to a mayoral ran city. The other option is for that election to be held next November. All this while a petition is being circulated to get that change of government on the ballot this November. Meanwhile, Fayetteville City Council expecting a lot of public comment for an appeal of Swarm Arrow's drone manufacturing plant, which is there near Drake Field. The council will hear an appeal on the company's business license after it was determined it was not zoned properly. Mayor Molly Ron said last week they expect the meeting to go into a second day. The council will also hear an appeal on the development plan for the Ramey Junior High School there off College Avenue. Well, as many families across Northwest Arkansas continue feeling the pressure of higher everyday cost, local volunteers are doing what they can to step in and help.
Yeah, this week, 7 Rotary clubs are partnering with the nonprofit For the Love on a series of food projects, including free community dinners. People lined up Monday evening at Luther George Park in Springdale for free meals. Organizers say the weekly dinners have become a reliable source for many, with around 400 people coming through the Springdale location each Monday night.
It is individuals that have food insecurity, but it's also individuals that's had a long day at work and just want to come, and it connects everybody together so that we can all sit around the table and just share a meal.
Community meals will continue throughout the week in Rogers at Hope Family Church, in Fayetteville on South College Avenue, and in Bentonville at the For the Love building. Each one kicks off at 5:30 and ends when the food runs out. Other Rotary clubs across Northwest Arkansas are also supporting food pantries and outreach efforts in Springdale and Bella Vista.